Hello, and welcome to the Rockies Hockey Podcast. Hope you're all having a really good day. I'm your host, RT. Thanks so much for joining me here today for episode 7 of the Rockies Hockey Podcast, and hope you enjoyed this one. Today, as promised, we have a guest with us. SW is back from the playoff predictions and bracket video. You want to say something?
Hello guys, welcome. We got the 5 likes on the video that the condition that we'll be back, and I'm back, guys.
That's
Welcome.
awesome. Totally those 5 likes, some of them weren't from me. No, but in all seriousness, I love having someone here to talk to, because that makes it a lot more fun to record these things. And so that's where we're at with the Calgary Flames. We're just going to be talking about the playoffs, the last 3 games. Games 1, 2, and 3, and then just some of the general playoffs, whatever. All back there. But right now, I'm in distress. Both Flames fans in distress, kind of. That's kind of where we're at. We're going to be talking about each games, game 1, 2, and 3, and then some of the other playoff stuff, as I said. We're going to first just talk about each game individually, game 1, and then game 2, and game 3, not trying to, combine the ideas, just sort of each game as itself, and then we'll talk about the series in general, to sort of just kind of, I think that's probably the best way to go about this. We're going to start with game 1. Do you have any thoughts, SW?
We sucked.
We didn't suck in game 1.
Our offense
Wasn't there.
Wasn't there.
Okay.
We scored a goal. I was happy we won, but I was still scared that our offense hadn't gotten to the point it was in the regular season.
Okay.
Lindholm did score a goal. That was 5 minutes in on the power play. That's it. Nothing else happened in that game. That was a really boring game.
Yeah.
Close game. Lots of fights.
Oh, yeah.
Anderson and
Klingberg that's a point. Yeah, that
got ejected. Very physical. Lots of fights.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of great hits.
Okay.
That's it for the game, I think.
Okay, so I do agree. There wasn't much goal scoring, but my thought was that, and I heard this kind of complain me it's only 1-0 Flames, only 1-0, that was a close game. It shouldn't have been that close, and I agree. I think this was just that type of game where both coaches, Rick Bowness and Daryl Sutter, as well as both teams are just those kind of structured playoff teams, that they're going to go that tight in this game. And it was kind of that game. This is, in my opinion, the most playoff type of series out of all the series that are happening in the playoffs right now. The most kind of playoff hockey that's happening. And even if, whatever the scores and stuff is, really feels like the playoffs, right? And I'm fine with it being a 1-0 game. Like a 1-goal game and stuff. And, that it was close, but it was still good, because I got to see that the Flames can manage those tight games, those kind of playoffs, physical games where you just need to have that playoff structure in place. And they showed that. And that made me really, really happy with what happened. And I get it was 1-0 only, and we're going to get to the point of goal scoring and the struggling offense, I guess, of the Flames, kind of once we're done talking about all 3 games. But that's how I feel about this right now. So I guess the one problem I do have with this one being a shutout. Do you want to say this? Because I was talking about this earlier.
Yeah, a morbid stat line for sure. So RT was telling me all the series in the last couple of years that we've lost, we've started with shutouts.
Talk about each one.
So this one, obviously.
So let's go back to 2018-19. Let's start with that one. Do you want to say this?
Oh yeah.
Go for it.
Shut out the Colorado Avalanche 4-0, I believe.
In game 1?
Yeah. We lost that series.
4-1. Right? And then you go to 2020, the bubble playoffs.
We lost.
I'm not talking about the Winnipeg series, the qualifiers. I'm talking about the Dallas one.
Against Dallas. Same team.
Same team.
We won 2-0 in the first game.
2-0 shutout. Talbot. You had 40 saves. That was a really good game for Talbot.
We lost in 6.
We lost that series. And then once the shutout, right, even if it was only 1-0 Flame, right? We shut them out, and I was literally the thing that I was talking about was I thought about this a couple times through the game, but I didn't say anything because I didn't want to send shockwaves to anyone that I was watching with. But I thought, it's 1-0 Flames. Flames shut out the Stars. Don't let that happen. That's what I thought. But that is what happened, and this is where we're at right now. Yeah, this is not good. I mean, again, this is all superstition, but do you have anything to say?
Yeah, that's...
It's disappointing, honestly. This is not good. Because, game 1 was, but it was still a good game. I think the Lindholm goal was such a profound moment. I was crazy insane. I went crazy when that happened. Because it was this feeling you've made it, you've scored a damn goal, you're up 1-0, and I mean, at that point, the Flames were buzzing to start that game, right? We had 7 shots, he had none. Through the first some minutes, we absolutely dominated that game. Their goal, Ottinger, was good, their goalie. But we still dominated. I mean, do you have if you want to just jump in. If you have anything
It's
to say.
sad.
I mean, I guess it's easy to kind of like put this game in a bad light considering the fact that we lost the next two. But I think putting this pause, like this was a great game. This was for me was like a reassurance that we can play in those tight structured playoff situations. We can, like we have that structure in place. Sure, it's 1-0 against Dallas, who was one of the worst teams coming into the playoffs. But still, you won that game. You showed that you can play in the playoffs. And then game 2 and 3 happened, which is a whole other story. But yeah,
Let's go to game 3.
you just want to game 2.
Game 2, yes.
Is there anything else?
No.
I mean, there was a lot of physicality and stuff, a lot of penalties. The Anderson and Klingberg fight. Klingberg's been, he's been heated this series. Okay, let's just go to the next one though. Game 2. Do you want me to start?
Go ahead.
What was this game? Right, we lost 2-0. So okay, after watching this game, it kind of gave me this reassurance that the team that scores the first goal of the game is going to win the game. The team that scores the first goal of the game is that's probably going to be the game winner. The team that scores the first goal of the game is probably that might as well be the only goal they score in that game. And it's very, very true. Especially if this one, yes, it was 2-0 Stars that they won this. But it was an empty netter. Like, you take away that empty netter. Both games were close 1-0 games. Both of them. 1 and 2. For either side. Right? And then there's Ottinger, and it's like, I mean, you're losing to Ottinger. This is just like, oh my god. I mean, this game was still fine. Like, I was still like, well, we stayed in it and stuff. It's 1-1, whatever. Right? We haven't won a game 2 since 2004. In a playoff series. So I wasn't gonna complain about that much, but yeah, that's my thoughts. I mean, I'm kind of blanking right now, but there was a lot of physicality in this one. Oh, that moment when Gaudreau scored. In game 2, like a minute into it, and it was offside, and he couldn't hear the refs. I think it was because of the crowd was so loud, because he was on a breakaway. Yeah, it was such a beautiful. I started screaming because I thought he scored. I was like, Johnny Gaudreau scores, and like all the haters that think Gaudreau's into playoff player like silenced, and then they start fighting Gaudreau. I'm like, oh my god, that's a power play as well. Let's go, we're up 2-0 already. We're gonna score the power play, and then I realized it's offside, and then I realized that it was 4-on-4 because Kachuk was like, you don't touch Johnny, and he goes full and attacks Klingberg. Klingberg has been crazy this season. Man, yeah, that's mean. You shouldn't say that.
He's annoying. He's definitely getting under our skin. So is Pavelski.
Oh, yeah, Pavelski.
Oh, he's a flame killer by definition.
They call him flame killers, and this was a term I think they used in the 2020 playoffs, and the broadcast and the analysts used. What does flame killer mean? Here's the definition in my mind. A player that has had career success in the Flames, and they just somehow successfully play their best hockey against the Calgary Flames, and they're known for shutting the Flames down and destroying us. Not necessarily destroying us, but beating us pretty hard. Among those players, Corey Perry being the biggest one that comes to mind. He was on the Stars in 2020, and that just made me hate the Stars more because I've never liked Corey Perry in my life.
The
Corey
Anaheim
Perry.
Ducks too.
The Anaheim Ducks. That entire team, like Ryan gets that a little bit. Kessler, yeah. BX, I maybe even a little bit of BX, not much. I would say
he's nice.
He's nice on the sports analyst. He's done a pretty much a lot of crap stuff to the Flames when he was playing in Anaheim. And that's one. Another one. Blanking right now. Pavelski is one of them, as we said. That one's just beating around the bush, but not seeing his name. The first one, Ben Sagan, especially back in the 2020 playoffs. Those guys, and they're not that prominent anymore, but still, those guys. I'm gonna say this right now. Then game 4, they're both gonna score like 5 goals each, because I'm saying like they're flame killers. There's them. Who else? I would say even Burns maybe is a flame killer. Joe Thornton, when he was in his prime in San Jose, he was a flame killer. But a lot of those Sunbelt teams have a lot of flame killers on them. God, the biggest one is Corey Perry. So Pavelski, like he's really shown that he's a goddamn flame killer as well. It's so frustrating. Who else is there? I think those are pretty much it. And then but yeah, it really does really just get to nervous. It was like Pavelski scored 2 goals in game 3, and I was like, man, why him? Why him? Of all people, why him? Having the game, he also had the game winner. He had the game winner in both games. Oh my god. Oh, he has as many goals as the Flames do. Let's get to this after. I want to talk about this so struggling Flames offense, because I have my take on that. You probably also have a take on that. Yeah. You haven't thought of it, but you probably want to say something about that as well. Regardless, this was like, I mean, Pavelski scored, and I was like, oh no, and I pretty much called it. We were going to lose the game, and we lost it. And that this game gave me the reassurance that whoever scores the first goal might as well win the game. Game 3 was a little bit different, but it was so tight.
Game 3 wasn't different.
I think game 2 was the absolute pretty much the exact same as game 1, except the teams were flipped.
Yeah. Game 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Game 3, also, the Stars scored the first goal. They won the game.
Oh, yeah. But to its core, that makes sense. But what I meant was, like, that goal's going to be the game winner. Like, that goal's going to finish the game.
Yeah.
The one goal that happens. And that's kind of, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Is there anything else? Any other thoughts that come to mind?
No.
This one?
So
Yeah. If anything does come back, we'll loop back and talk about it as well. Let's go to game 3. Oh, man. The picture that I'm going to use in the video, I haven't done all the editing yet, but the picture that I'm going to use when I'm talking about game 3, I don't even want to stare at it. I'm just going to,
It has marks. Look at marks.
I'll switch the screen because you don't have to see that picture. I can't see it. By the way, that's the thing that was open on our screen as well because I kind of like to, fall. It's an editing stuff, but I do see that picture that's going to be on, probably going to be on your screens as you're watching this on YouTube. But, this one was in Dallas. The Dallas crowd seemed so fired up. Nah, at least they weren't obnoxious like the Islanders crowd.
But who plays hockey in Texas?
Well, I don't know. Because their football team sucks.
They can't.
Their football team suck. This year, no offense. Basketball is good for them. I actually like the Mavericks, by the way, because they have Mark Cuban from Shark Tank as their owner. That's why. And they also have this 7-foot dude called Boban. What's his last name? Boban. He actually met. They're from, he's Serbian. Boban Marjanovic. So I hope I didn't butcher that. That guy's no, it's actually Marjanovic. But okay, never mind. He's a friend of not necessarily a friend, but he's Serbian. So is Luch. And so they actually met up. I think when the Flames went to play the Stars, it was that comeback win. And so they met before the game, Boban and Luch and some of the other Flames. It's on Twitter. Search it up. You'll probably find it online. But that guy's also on this Mavericks. So I like the Mavericks. They're also in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Matt, I'm probably sounding super dumb because I know nothing about this. I was following the Raptors and then they lost.
The only thing people in Dallas can do is shoot stuff.
Oh.
They can't shoot pucks.
Yeah, and then also they shoot the rebounds into the net every time, unlike the Calgary Flames. As you can see, we're very bitter. I'm just gonna search up the NBA bracket to see what they're doing.
Oh my god!
Can't believe it.
We can have a
game 3 hockey to this. Okay, there it is. Okay, let's go online and just.
Giannis.
Where's the damn? Oh, there it is. Found the bracket. I think I found it at least. There we go. Okay. So look, can I make this bigger? Nope. Okay. So wait. Sorry, I'm so lost. Okay, so Toronto lost. So there's Boston and Brooklyn. So Boston won.
Mavs are in the West. Check
Sorry?
the West. Check the West. The West. They're in the West.
Mavericks?
They're down 2-1 against the Phoenix.
Oh, damn it, man.
Phoenix is really good.
Yeah. I don't want. Oh no, and then also Golden State leads, which sucks. God, and then Boston won. Boston swept the Nets. The Nets have who, Durant,
Kyrie Irving, and Durant.
Yeah. Chicago lost. Man, not making my MJ proud. Can't believe we're talking about basketball right now, but the Mavs are doing good. I also like the Nuggets lost to the stupid Warriors. I hate the Golden State Warriors. Man, never mind. Let's get back to hockey, which is what this podcast is about. That's what it's called, the Rockies Hockey Podcast, not the Rockies Basketball Podcast. Because legit, I don't know. This was a sad game to watch. Okay, let's just talk about kind of the game piece by piece.
Okay, first goal.
You weren't even paying attention to that the whole time because you're like, oh, the Flames are gonna lose this game, whatever.
Okay.
First goal. Who scored it?
I don't remember.
Radek Faxa
on 4.
So 4-on-4, Radek Faxa wins the draw. Puck goes back to Miro Heiskanen at the blue line. Miro Heiskanen shoots that at a goal, and Faxa comes right from the draw, wins the draw, and tips it into the net, and he scores. I was like, and they're gonna win this game 1-0 or 2-0 or something like that.
Next goal.
And then go for it. Tell me what happened in the next one.
Behind the net, puck dumped behind the net. Kachuk wins the battle to Gaudreau to Lindholm.
That's the 2-1 goal. The 1-1 goal was the Lewis goal. Yeah. Do you remember that one?
No.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it was the
interference one.
Interference one.
Man, Flames only scored 2 goals this game, and you confused. I'm kidding. It's okay though. I get it. So basically, what happened was in that play, bit of a broken play, but Luch, he kind of throws the puck to Ottinger. Puck kind of goes behind the net. Luch tries and the puck's kind of going into the other corner, Luch trying to chase it, and he just goes by Ottinger. Ottinger sticks out his leg. And Luch trips over him, but also knocks Ottinger over in the process. Meanwhile, Luch gets the puck, puts it out, tries to shoot that, it gets stopped, and the rebound goes straight to Lewis, who just chips it in, while Ottinger just laying there wailing in his misery. About, that's goalie interference. I'm like, you stupid guy, you literally stuck your leg out. and tripped Luch. It's not even, and so they did the goal interference challenge, and the Flames got the power play. We actually buzzed on that power play pretty hard as well, which is good. What do you think about that goal interference? Do you think Rick Bowness should have challenged that?
No. It was pretty obvious he stuck his leg out.
Okay, yeah.
Sagan also kind of pushed Luch.
Yeah.
And he had lots of time to get up. 3 factors immediately that's cancelled.
Yeah, and also, and I think Luch's skate was a little bit in the crease, but it was barely. He wasn't even that much in the crease. Like, and it was quite obvious once you were looking for it, because I didn't realize that Ottinger staked his leg out on the play until they mentioned it. You can also see, like, him sticking his leg out and Luch tripping him. It's like, oh, okay, so that really just made it. That was like the giveaway that, okay, well, that's not a goalie interference. Give them as a power play. The Flames buzzed. Looked like they were going to score and they didn't. They had like 6. Was that the power play? They had like 6 shots? Or was that another one? I think that might have been another one.
I'm not sure.
Regardless. So that happens. You want to talk about the 2-1 goal? Because you know this one pretty well.
Puck dumping behind the net. Kachuk gets to the Gaudreau. Gaudreau to Lindholm. Lindholm buries the one.
Gaudreau just looks for Lindholm.
Absolute beauty. I
2-1
called
Flames.
that one too.
2-1 Flames. I was like, my heart. I was like, finally, we're up. We're changing the way the series has been being played by scoring more than 2 goals in a game combined total between both teams.
We scored though.
And it was 2-1, and then I was like just happy. I just literally was thinking, considering the way the series has been going, you might as well just start defending your lead now. Right, and just keep it 2-1 and just take it 2-1 and take the 2-1 win home. Right? Because that's the series. Like, you take a 1 goal and you defend it. That's what the first 2 games were like. And obviously it was a little bit different considering that there had already been back and forth scoring, which hadn't happened in the first 2 games. And so pretty much it was like you got to that point, and yeah, you got to that point. It was like 2-1, and then they tied up. How did they tie it up? Who was it? Oh my god! God damn! Oh no! I can literally visualize. Oh, and then Markstrom made the save on that play as well, right?
Yeah.
Massive save, right? Because he
pad stack.
It was like passing, just like put his. Oh my god! When he made that save, I was like, what? I thought he actually froze the play, which he didn't. And they were complaining about high stick, whatever. And then they take the puck and they score again, and on the very same play. And I was like, what infuriates me? And you can tell me what you think about this. It infuriates me when like a goalie makes a really really good save, and then on that very same offensive zone shift for the opponents, they score. It takes away all of the glory that save had, because at the end of the day, you score. I think that also happened against the Colorado Avalanche because Vladar was starting in one of them. The first one that we played against them. Like, literally like a minute into the game, Vladar makes a really solid save, and then on the rebound, they score. So, it's kind of like, well, you took the glory of the save, but regardless.
Similar to Markstrom against the Ducks. Short-handed, he made the paddle save with his stick.
Oh.
And then scored on the next play.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. So, Lundestrom scored. Yeah. Oh, you're right about that one as well. That's a good one. Yeah. For sure. It's frustrating when that happens. And it was like, because I think Pavelski just up there scores. And I was like, why Pavelski? Of all people, it's always goddamn Pavelski that does it. Okay, man. Pavelski has as many goals as the entire Flames team does. So, literally that, first of all, even that just doesn't fit in my head. But regardless. And then they scored in the empty net. We don't need to talk about that. As soon as they scored in the empty net, kind of the buzzer went off. I don't care if they turned the clock back a few seconds just to kind of compensate because the empty net happened. It was still like a half a second left or whatever. I just turned the TV off. I was like, okay, I'm going upstairs. I was done. I wasn't watching the last 0.5 seconds of the Flames. Kind of like win the face off. Well, which we didn't do any of that. So Stars winning the face off, and then they just kind of stand there for like half a second while the buzzer goes off and the crowd goes crazy. Yeah, that was that. I mean, this was, oh god. Out of the 3, which was the worst played one in your opinion?
Game 3.
I would say, okay, that's fair. I would say maybe even game 2. I would say all 3 of them. We were in all 3 games. We were in the 2. When we lost the games, we were still in that game. We were still in it. Oh god, regardless. Just want to get to the overall series. Let's talk about the overall series. I think pretty much we've exhausted everything for the games. Let's talk about the series as a whole.
We suck.
Because that's where we're at right now.
We suck.
We're
the Calgary Flames cannot win a series.
Yeah.
So many expectations. Sutter. I thought this year would be different. It's not, obviously.
Well, yes. I don't think there's anyone that thought the Flames would legitimately lose the first round. I mean, you would go on like online on Twitter and you'd see all the trolls, like all the other fans, like, oh, Flames are going to choke in the first round. And you know that they're just saying that to piss you off.
Yeah.
People saying, oh, Gaudreau's going to die in the playoffs again. Well, he's not doing that, first of all. Secondly, people saying they're saying you're just a troll with the Flames fans. They're just Oilers fans who are bitter because they know they're gonna be the one that loses in the first round, and that's sad. They've crushed the Kings. Sorry, Kings fans. I feel you.
6-0.
I feel the Kings.
Oh man, 8-2 6-0. That's huge.
And it's infuriating because there's one and the Flames are just losing.
Yeah.
It's so badly. I mean, yeah, and so what was everyone saying? Oh yeah, the trolls and stuff, right? Seeing that stuff, no one legitimately thought that the Flames are going to do this in the first round against the Dallas Stars. Okay, I mean, my point is, at least we didn't get Nashville, because sure they're losing, like sure they look like absolute, like chickens with their heads cut off running around against Colorado. Sorry, Nashville. I had to say it. Except for Riddick, my man Riddick, former Flame.
He's only played one game.
I know, I love Riddick. David Riddick. Can't believe they pulled him in game 1 and they just started Ingram and the other two. Man, Riddick was so good in Calgary. And then you traded him for a third. I shouldn't talk. This is a rant that I should maybe save for the offseason. When we're talking about Flames goaltending. Regardless, what was I even saying? I was saying, at least we didn't take Nashville because we performed like this against Nashville. Nashville's an electric team. Dallas isn't as electric, and they would have easily scored like 7 goals a game against us. Yeah, Markstrom's also keeping us in this series, by the way. If the Flames do win the cup, looking at it right now, Markstrom takes home the Conn Smythe for me. By the way,
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, we're losing.
Calgary Flames, we're losing.
We're losing the series. There's no question, and I'm gonna see a lot of stuff like talking about like. I think for me, it's almost like. The point is just lose the series. You know what I mean? You've put the expectations up high. Obviously, you're gonna lose. There's no doubt of I'm so disappointed. I cannot even comprehend. You're just gonna lose, and then it's not. It's like honestly, relieve me of the stress of the playoffs. Seriously. But then the point is, then I have to spend the rest of the playoffs thinking about how they're gonna re-sign Johnny Gaudreau and the future of this team. Like, where do you go after this stuff? Yeah.
Let's not discuss that.
That's for next podcast. I know.
When we lose the series, we'll wait next episode. When we've lost a series in a really bad way and lost like 2 games 7-0.
Yeah.
And then we'll discuss this.
Yeah, we'll discuss this topic because there's no doubt in my mind that this is something that we need to talk about the future. And what are your hopes for this series? Other than the Flames just winning the next 3 games and just cruising home the victory and going into the second round. What do you want? What is your wish with this series? Other than just like a clean, like what do you see this series? Like what do you would ideally turn like this series happen? It's a bad question, but
even if we lose,
okay,
I want our offense to come back to where it was.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that in a sec. Yeah, go ahead.
Offense,
go ahead.
Back up.
Yeah,
like the regular season level, offense, because we played like the playoffs the whole regular season, and now we're playing like the regular season in the playoffs. We need to play playoff hockey, which we kind of are, but offensively we need to play playoff hockey.
Right. Okay.
And that will fix us a lot.
Okay.
Have some slightly more higher scoring games.
Right.
There can still be close games, but we need to score more goals. Win the next 2 games. Go back to Dallas for game 6.
Right. So wait, sorry, my point is...
So we win the next 2 games.
We win the next game, make it
scoring
3-2 Calgary.
Scoring lots of goals.
Okay.
Go to Dallas. Maybe lose the game.
Okay.
That's okay. Come back to Calgary, win in game 7, or win in game 6 in Dallas. But score goals. Going in next year's against the Edmonton Oilers,
we're going to need that. We're going to need that.
Score a heck of a load of goals.
Yeah.
So we need to be ready to score goals.
That's also because LA isn't that structured of a team.
Yeah.
Edmonton is going to run around skate circles around them. I think when they face us, like a team like the Flames, like ideally we're playing that playoff style of great structured hockey. Then we're going to be able to eventually chip away at them. They're not going to be able to produce nearly as much offense against the Flames team than they are against. Then they're like doing right now against the Kings. So about the offense, this is my point. Like you think the offense sucks? That's a problem for the Flames. I do get that. Like I do see the point. Like Flames only scored 3 goals. There's literally so many players around the league that have players specifically that have scored more goals than the Flames have. My point to this is just going to be that low scoring type of goalie played series. Looking at the statistics, Markstrom and Ottinger I think they're the top 2 goalies in the entire National Hockey League. And now I'm going to check that stat because I could be wrong. Let's go to the NHL. I just want to see because I think those 2 might be the top statistical goalies. What do you think?
Let me check.
I'm gonna check here. I got it open here on the laptop, anyways. Okay. So schedule. Oh, wait, that's the wrong place. Stats. There we go. Kilmakar has 7 points. What? Okay. Let's say goalies. Save goals against, Ottinger is third with a 1.01. Markstrom second with a 1.36. Oh, sorry, I'll give behind Ottinger, so they're third and fourth. I'm going to look at stats goals against. Save percentage. Ottinger is third with a 9.69. And Markstrom is sixth, below Mike Smith for some reason, with a 9.42. 9.42, I'm not complaining, by the way, just so y'all know. And yeah, whatever. Shoutouts, whatever. How the frick does Cale Makar have 7 flipping points? That's crazy, stupid, dumb. Oh my god. Look at goals. Is Lindholm even here? No. No, he's not. Pavelski is. This is frustrating. Man. Do you want... What are you doing? Are you checking some stats and stuff?
Yeah, I'm checking some
Just forget the stats. Forget the stupid stats. Just get to the thing. Okay. So, look. Offensively speaking, you're playing against the top 2 goalies. Some 2 really solid goalies right now. Ottinger and Markstrom. This is going to be a low-scoring series. There's no... Like, you look at one game in one. Sure, we're being outscored by them, but it's not like offense is necessarily a specific problem. Because you've got, like, such a tight playoff series, in my opinion. I don't know. I think it might be too early to say. But what do you... Like... What do you think?
We suck. That's it. That's
okay. We suck. A good decree that Flames suck. I would actually agree. That's, I think, a very good point to put out there.
And I'm going to put it out there. If we lose the series, I'm going to Toronto.
Man, like, this guy's a bandwagon, by the way. SW is an absolute little bandwagon. Because, here's my point. He's a Flames fan right now because I convinced him that you need, like, come on, Flames are so good, just don't leave. I've been a Flames fan forever, by the way, since I started. I've been through all of it. So I got into hockey like around 2015 playoffs when the Flames made the playoffs with Goodrow in his rookie year. The last time we won a playoff series, like a legit playoff series, not the qualifiers. But that and so that's where I got into hockey, and I've been a Flames fan more or less since. I kind of like cheered for some of the other teams like Leafs and like Pens at points, but not necessarily like overtaking the Flames. Right, I was still a Flames fan. The core of it, this guy SW, he's cheered for all the he's cheered for the Flames at a point. He's cheered for the Preds, cheered for the Jets, he's cheered for the Leafs a lot.
The Knights,
Golden Knights. And were you a Bruins fan? I think you're a Bruins fan as well at a point. You were like a Leafs fan who hated the Bruins, and you were like a Bruins fan who hated the Leafs. Both things. Bandwagon. I'm not a bandwagon. I've been through it all. I mean, look, if the Flames lose this series, okay, I want to just ask something. Were you, out of anyone who's listening, were any of you really into hockey during the 2018-19 season? Chances are you were. The 2018-19 season, the Flames were looking invincible, second in the league behind God, like a top, like one of the best teams ever, I would say, the Tampa Bay Lightning. And then you go in and I had such high expectations. You win game 1 4-0. Shutout. Ironic. Considering how that's played out for us. And then you lose next 4. Like, how disappointing was that? If you had to put that on a scale of 1 to 10. It, for me, was so disheartening and disappointing that I literally lost my interest in hockey. For the next... I watched hockey in, like, little chunks. Because, I mean, I didn't watch... Okay, this season I've watched hockey the most intensely. There's, like, for me...
He's seen every single game.
This year, I've try to watch them all. Because, yeah, this is legit. 18-19, I did watch a lot of the games. I didn't watch them all. I didn't watch them as intensely as I do. As I've done, like, past couple years. But I watched a lot of hockey, and I was really invested in this team. And then they lost. And I completely lost my interest in the sport. Like, I literally just lost my interest in hockey. I would watch it on and off, but not nearly as much as I had back in 2018-19. And I just, like, died. Like, I lost all my interest in hockey. I was kind of, like, that's how disappointed I was. I stopped following the sport. I just stopped really caring. And me, I wasn't that, like, I was kind of more of, like, a younger guy. But, like, I was still a Flames fan. Still kind of followed them. And then the COVID thing happened, and I was like, oh, no. And then I really began, like, oh, no, what happened? What about hockey? Blah, blah, blah. And then the bubble playoffs, and I'm back. I'm really hyped, because, you know, it's hypeable. And Flames lose, but I was still just so happy with everything. Like, I was so happy that we beat the Jets the way we did. And even against the Stars, we lost. I hated the Stars for that. But still, you know what? I was back into it. And then I watched the Canadian division season, as I like to call it. Right? And then you get to this point where my expectations are tenfold than they were back in 2019. Just because of the fact that now that I look back on the 2019 playoff team, it was a team that had a lot of holes in it. Like, this was not a playoff team. This was a regular season team. A team that won games by outscoring the opponent in the third period. Basically, and that's not Sutter mentality where we've changed. This is such a much better team, like a team that can win the cup, you know? And so for me, the Flames are like 10 times more expectations. And this is what happens. So yeah. What do you think? Like, Mike, this is just disappointing. As a Flames fan. Yeah. I don't want to talk too much about what it feels like to lose, because who knows, maybe the Flames will be like, get their act straight and actually win a couple. Here, but regardless. Yeah. What are your thoughts? You have any other thoughts to add, or do you want to move on to? I have one more thing to say, and it kind of relates to the next thing, just talking through other playoff series. How embarrassing is it to just be like, you look at all the other teams around the NHL, all the other series, 2-1 Edmonton, 3-0 Colorado. What else?
2-1 Toronto.
2-1 Toronto. Yeah, that's a stupid one. Sorry.
All the contending teams
Okay.
are winning.
Here's the thing. It's so embarrassing. You look at the Calgary Flames. Down 2-1 to the freaking Stars. Dallas Stars. In my opinion, the weakest team to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right now, the Kings are looking at the weakest. But in my opinion, they were the weakest team to get into the playoffs.
The Flames are an embarrassment to the city of Calgary.
Oh, that's too harsh,
That's
man.
facts.
They've done so much for the city. They've been the heart and soul sports team of the city, though.
Really?
For ever since. Yes.
What have they done?
Since the start of time.
What have they won? 1999.
And 2004.
Yeah.
Because it was in.
It
was in.
Okay, whatever. So, they're an embarrassment. All the other cities, we're up 2-1. We're contenders. We're up 2-1. Calgary.
That's my point.
Down
That's exactly my point. That's what I'm trying to say here. My point is, that's exactly what I'm saying. Every series, except for maybe the Florida one, looks like what it should look like. The team that was supposed that was given a chance to win is up to 1. Maybe in the case of the Wild Blues, I said Blues would win it. You said Wild would win it. Regardless, Wild are up to 1. Like it's going the way it should, in a sense, right? All series, except for the Florida one, which I'll get to in a sec, are all the way they're all looking the way they should. And you come here to Calgary, Dallas, and you're like, Dallas is up 2-1. I mean, honestly, it's like. And then there's a Florida one, which Florida's down 2-1, and I get that. I agree. That's not good. It's not a good look for them either. My point is that Washington is a legitimate team. Competing. How much you want to look at the playoffs right now? To see. Yeah, Washington is leading the Caps 2-1. But again, Washington is at least a cup contending type of team, right? At least they're a good team with good players. Like Ovechkin, like actually legendary players like Ovechkin, Backstrom, because and stuff, etc., etc. And then it come down to Calgary, Dallas, and oh my god. Oh my god. I cannot comprehend mentally.
The logo, though, bruh.
What?
The logo. It's the old logo.
For the Flames?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Looking on the NHL website, by the way. It's not that old. It's still kind of... Whatever. Forget. That's beside the point, man. This is genuinely, like, freaking horrible. Horrible. Boo! Boo! Sorry, I'm being too harsh right now, but seriously, all the other series are the way they should be, except for maybe the Leafs one, because I didn't think that would happen. Leafs are probably going to go up 3-1 and then choke it, anyways. Colorado, like, this is embarrassing, man. Come on, man. Well, there's another thought that came to my mind. There's a lot of thoughts that are coming to my mind right now. It's honestly like, okay, well, let's see, let's the Flames get eliminated. Then what?
Toronto.
Then you're cheering for, like, then what happens? The way I see it is that Colorado gets a free ticket to the Stanley Cup. Flames are in the first round. Colorado gets a free ticket to the Stanley Cup final. Like, they're literally just winning the cup.
Absolutely.
Because, okay, this is one thing that came to mind, and obviously you can tell me what you think. I think, because a lot of people are just putting the Flames or Avs to win the cup. One or the other. And so honestly, I think the West Conference Finals might literally decide who wins the cup. Whoever comes out of there wins the cup. Against whichever East team it is. And that's so likely that that's going to happen between Colorado and Flames. Calgary loses, then it's only Colorado. Colorado against you. Colorado is going to get either Edmonton, LA, or Dallas in the conference finals. Have you ever thought of that happening? No, you're shaking your head. No. I mean, it is just like then they get their free weird with their cup. They just gotta like cruise to the cup and they win the cup, and then they just like not even a competition. Whatever. It's so stupid, man. I can't believe we're doing this. Oh my god. Yeah, I cannot mentally comprehend this that's happening. Let's talk about some of the other playoff series now.
Okay.
Alright. Colorado, Nashville. 3-0 in Colorado. What do you think?
Exactly what I predicted would happen. Colorado is going to kill the Nashville Predators.
How many did you predict it? 5 or 4?
4.
Okay, I said 5. I think it still could be 5 because there was that one overtime game where Nashville really held it close. I think they can get one, slip one by like that. Just because they don't have like a bad team necessarily, right? They've got a pretty skilled team up and down. I think they take one, but yeah, it's going the way it should be. If there are any series that are like upside down, like the Flames one, then I would say something. Minnesota, St. Louis, but that was a back and forth one. What happened? Like it was like a bunch of wins. I just need to know. There it is. So game 1, Blues win 4-0. Game 2, Minnesota wins 6-2. Game 3, Minnesota wins 5-1. So it's been one side or the other, really. It's been a very back and forth one. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I put St. Louis to win. You put Minnesota to win it. Well, regardless though, it's gonna be a pretty back and forth one. Whatever. Calgary Dallas talk about Edmonton. Man, Edmonton. So you're sitting in Calgary watching your Flames lose, and then you look at Edmonton. It's like 6-0, 8-2. Yeah. And then what else is happening? Pittsburgh. Oh, Domingue.
Damn.
To Pittsburgh, New York. Domingue is gonna go insane.
Carolina is beating Boston. That's
2-1.
no surprise.
No surprises there. Yeah. Toronto. I want to talk about Toronto.
Explosive offense.
From both sides.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got like a Vezina level goaltender on one end, that's Vasilevsky, and maybe a fringe starter,
and Jack Campbell.
And Jack Campbell, who's somehow playing well. It's all gonna crash down pretty soon.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it last year that Campbell's just gonna be a one-hit wonder. Next year he's gonna come out of the gates and just fall hard. Kind of what happened, right?
Kind of, yeah.
With Campbell this year. At least parts of the regular season, it really seemed like that. He's holding it together for Toronto though, which is good. It's 2-1. They're gonna take it up. Like they're gonna win. I think they have a game today, right? Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah. May 8th, which is tonight. I think Whew. They're in Tampa as well. So I mean, who knows? I think Tampa could win it. So that's pretty good. Washington leads 2-1. Ridiculous. Man, my prediction was all wrong. I said Washington would sweep. I mean, I said Florida would sweep them.
Yeah.
You said the same thing?
Same thing.
Yeah.
I have no idea how this is happening. Florida, that is embarrassing. You won the President's Trophy, do something.
But I mean, it's also the same, like, if the Caps win, better. That's just better.
It's an embarrassment.
Considering the fact that Flames could literally come to the finals.
That's an embarrassment.
That's a big one that's out.
That's an embarrassment for the Florida Panthers organization. How can you lose to the Washington Capitals?
I told you that they're not a very playoffy team. I told you that they were going to face the Tampa Bay Lightning and lose, so they're doing it in the first round anyways. Yep. They're not ready for the playoffs, that team. I mean, they're a very good team, but I don't know if they're completely a playoff team yet, compared to Washington.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, and stuff. Yeah. Specifically on the topics to talk about, do you have? Because I feel like this podcast is very short today. We did
nothing much.
I feel like
it's a playoff podcast. It's gonna be shorter.
It's gonna be shorter.
Next episode will be giving you guys a recap of the whole season after we get eliminated.
Yep, I have some pretty good ideas to discuss the series itself.
After we get eliminated.
Yeah. I mean, I would start wailing about this right now.
A recap of the whole season.
Yeah. I mean, SW told me to actually put a picture into this podcast next time, of a crying child in a Flames jersey because the Flames would lose. I told him that's unnecessary. I'll probably be crying like a child when the Flames lose. Unless you're crying, just disappointed. Because there were such high expectations this year from this team. And it's the fact that, psychologically speaking, it's like, look, you're gonna make this team looks like they kind of are lost. Like, a little bit at times, it feels like kind of lost. Like, the rebounds, get goal. We did all the right stuff in the regular season. Where's the playoff stuff?
Yeah.
And here's the thing, a team's mentality never changes, especially when the core is still the same from previous years, right? I thought, legitimately, started changes. Because in the regular season, for at least the majority, just overall, looking at this regular season overall, all of the bad things we did, all the mental mistakes we made in previous years, last 2 years, we fixed them all. We were a completely different team. Played a whole new structure game. I thought every little mental, because sometimes in your mind, there's still those base instincts to start sucking, are still there. Start choking, are still there. And the Flames didn't show any of that. I mean, they did at points. But, overall, if you look at it kind of overall, as a whole, they didn't do that. How like Sutter really changed the mentality, the mindset, the winning mentality of this team. He changed it, right? The way this team played.
Everyone bought into the system.
Yeah, and I thought it would legitimately change. Like, you going into the playoffs, it's not going to be the classic Flames playoff team that loses. But it is.
In the playoffs,
I thought it changed. I thought it would totally changed.
In the regular season, the whole team bought into the system.
Yeah.
Now is asking for a refund.
Oh yeah, that's it. Harsh, harsh, but true. Harsh, but very, very true. And yeah. Okay. That's kind of where we're at right now. Next week's episode. I mean, I guess there isn't much to talk about, so thanks for joining me. Next week's episode.
We'll be talking
will you be back, SW?
5 likes.
Again. I'm not the type of person who asks for likes on my videos.
Then we'll stop that.
Bro.
Just basic.
Okay. Just, if you enjoyed this one, SW will be back. Right?
Yeah.
Back for more. Talk about here with us. Actually, there is one thing I did want to talk about. Sorry, I remember. We got a comment on the last video that I just wanted to mention to the people.
A shout out.
Yes, shout out here. So, I think this might be the second comment ever from Shabari. I hope I said that right. They said, no way Tampa's gonna make the finals after how they played tonight. The Leafs destroyed them 5-0. This was after game 1. So I did say, well, I made the prediction before the game, and I'm looking pretty wrong now, but hopefully the Leafs choke like usual. I think they still will. But yeah, I guess I was pretty wrong about that. I didn't see that coming, by the way, because I thought it's going to be, as I said, it's going to be Vasilevsky versus Matthews in that one. It's quite literally that. Vasilevsky, though, looking a little shaky. But I think the Leafs will still combust, because when they're 3-1, they're like, we're up 3-1. No lot of stress. We can change up our lines. We're up 3-1. We're going to win this game. Let's scratch Muzzin. Let's scratch Matthews. Let's give Matthews, let's give them all a break, so we can just we'll just call up our NHL team. We'll let Aberzizi and Nyes come in and line up and just take the series home for us, and they choke.
Okay.
Yeah, but regardless. Thanks for the comment, though. Thanks a lot for the comment. And I'm looking out for more. If you do have any thoughts, do tell me in the comment section down below. Something I said, something we said, both that you agree with, something we both said you disagree with. You'd like to talk about any thoughts, opinions, questions, anything you'd like me to talk about in next week's episode. I'll be more than willing to take a look at that and see if I can put that into next week's episode. So thank you so much for joining us here today. Hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks to everyone who's watched previous episodes. And thanks so much for joining us here today. Hope you all have a great day. If your team's losing in the playoffs, don't stress too much. It can be worse than what's happening to the Flames right now. Probably, unless you're a Flames fan. Then I feel you. Thanks so much for watching us.
Bye. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.